Hi, friends. I hope you're having a great night. Today, I want to talk to you about the narcissistic mother and her golden child. So, the golden child is the child that gets the special attention, who gets all the excuses, doesn't get in trouble, um, is pretty much like the favorite of the family, and it's obviously the favorite. Um, so, if you are a sibling of this person, just my recommendation to you would be to be really careful to not let yourself get bitter towards your sibling. Um, it sounds really weird, but that child's also getting abused. They might have it easier. You might think that it's easier, okay, than what you're getting, but they're not growing up in a healthy environment. They're not going to set themselves up for a healthy um, marriage or anything like that because these mothers are going to smother this child. Father can smother them too. Father can be overly protective of, this favorite daughter, or the mother's going to be definitely very overprotective of this favorite child. And when the golden child gets married, they are going to have their relationship destroyed by their parents, or at least one of the parents, right? The narcissist. So that's not anything that I would wish on anyone. So the narcissist in my family, my mother, she had her favorite. That was my brother. But although my brother gets coddled and my brother gets all the excuses made for him, he doesn't have a good life. He tends to be very, very demanding of the women in his life, and he can be very charming and wonderful, and he had no problem getting a girlfriend. He could have been married a million times by now because people really like him, but he's not going to hold on to that marriage or that relationship because there's only so much that someone will take no matter how much they love you. And my brother was set up to be basically adored and have his everything he does wrong to be excused and brushed off. And that's not a fair demand to make of your partner. It's unrealistic to think that that's sustainable. And so, even if it is, like, even if he uh, starts dating somebody who really loves him but has harder boundaries, then stands up for herself. And if my brother reacts and says, I don't want to lose this person, let me change myself a little bit to keep the peace. Even if they are happy in their relationship, my mother's going to come through and she's going to wreck it. And she's going to talk bad about the significant other. She's going to talk bad about my brother to the significant other. She is going to do whatever she can to wreck that state of harmony because she wants my brother all to herself. There's a concept that a YouTuber named Ollie Matthews on the Narcissistic Resistance channel. He talks about it a lot. The Sun Husbands. I completely 100% agree with him. And I made a video on that. If you want to look through my channel, or maybe I'll drop a link in the description below with that topic, the link to the video that I made about that topic. But it's not a good fate, because yes, the golden child is protected from your narcissistic mother's fury and her wrath, but he's not, like, my brother didn't learn the life skills that he needs to have a good relationship with his future wife. He didn't learn that his employer is not going to put up with him just storming off. And my mom will put up with it and then come back and make him, when he comes back at 3 o'clock in the morning, we'll be making him pancakes. But his girlfriend's not going to do that. his employer's not going to do that. Like, you can't just take off like that and come back whenever you feel like it. So she's training him to think that the world works in a different way, and it's very unhealthy. So siblings, especially scapegoat children, try to have a little compassion. I know that sounds really hard because these golden kids are so bratty and demanding, and they can have a very awful side to them that doesn't really bring out the best in your compassionate side, but they don't have a good life. And yeah, so you have a lot of things where, for example, where they think that people should tolerate things that are just unacceptable. Infidelity, running up money and credit cards and things like that. Just irresponsible behavior, because the narcissistic parent always covered for them and made excuses, but other people aren't. And so don't let that twinge of jealousy or envy that will come naturally, those feelings of resentment that are naturally going to build up. Okay, they're going to build up because that's natural. You're not a robot. But recognize that for what it is and just pluck that out of your heart, because it's only going to hurt you. It's only going to hurt you. You're not going to feel better. You're not going to feel better talking about how awful your brother is or how awful your spoiled sister is. It's just going to make you feel bad. You're going to be poisoning yourself. So you've already been poisoned by so many negative experiences. Don't add to it by poisoning yourself and like regurgitating nasty thoughts that stem from provoked envy. You are provoked to feel that way because it was an unfair situation. You have a golden child being raised in the same home as a scapegoat child, and they are living two completely different lives. It is completely natural for you, scapegoat children, to have feelings, negative feelings about that. Feel it, recognize it, let it go. Let it go. Get yourself out of that situation. Let it go. And I'm not even saying that you have to hang out with your golden child sibling, because if they are so far into drinking the Kool-Aid and they want to tell you how your mom's the greatest and you're like, no, and you're not allowed to like have your own opinions and stuff, like they're toxic too. They could be toxic too. But just be careful for yourself that you're not just living in that ickiness. And I also want to say to anyone who is listening and says like, I'm the golden child, I have issues, that my wife's going to leave me because she says I'm all of those things that you're describing. And, that's me. My mom's butting in our relationship, and I really love this person, and my mom is going to destroy it. I don't want to be that way anymore. I just want to tell you, like, don't feel like you can't get out of it, because you can, because it's your life, it's your relationship, it's your marriage, it's your family, especially if you have kids. I mean, marriage by itself is very, it's, that promise, if you married somebody who you really do love and have a connection with, protect that, especially if there's a lot of trust and respect. And I know you guys are fighting, because you have to fight when you have a mother-in-law who's intruding. Like, you're gonna fight. So you have to have a united front, and you're gonna have to untrain yourself. You're gonna have to take responsibility. You're gonna have to step up. You're gonna have to be manlier, in the sense of take responsibility, take action. Don't just sit and wait for something to be catered to you. If you are a golden child female and you were raised to be a princess, and your husband that you adore is saying to you, like, enough, like, you're maxing out my credit cards, I love you to death, but like, you're going to make us go broke. Like, our kids are going to be living under a bridge because you won't stop shopping, or you won't stop throwing your hysterical hissy fits and scaring the kids. whatever it is that you're doing that is contributing to the chaos in your relationship, you have to own that, and you have to grow up. Grow up. And if you want to, you can. So don't be too hard on yourself. Like, obviously, it's a problem, and if it's a problem and you feel bad about it, there is a solution. And that solution is more personal accountability and more respect and more consideration for your partner, for your children, and make those changes. And also, I'm going to say, like, you need to prioritize. Yes, you love your mother, and I recommend going no contact with any narcissist in your life. But if it's not possible, or if you're not ready for that, then at least set up boundaries. And if you are married, protect your marriage, because that's how you protect your family. Strong marriage is going to just naturally produce a better environment for you to be a better parent, to be a better example for your children. So protect your family. And your mom's place or your dad's place is not to tell you what to do and then your spouse just has to deal with it. Like, you and your spouse have to be together on this. You have to work together. You have to respect your spouse or respect your significant other and give them their proper place on that hierarchy, because if you don't, it won't survive. Or if it does, it'll be very strained and very sad. And, people only tolerate stuff for so long. And kids don't stay little for long. And, young families are very, very vulnerable to be broken up by these narcissistic mothers. So protect your family, please. And I would say, don't get wrapped up in the guilt and the shame of, being irresponsible or being sort of stuck in a teenage phase. Just accept it, that that's where you are right now, but you don't have to stay there. You can change. And it's going to take some work, and you're going to have to make different decisions. And, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Comment down below if you can relate, and I think it's wonderful when we can read each other's comments and get support and get just acknowledgement for where we've been and where we're going, and support each other. Like each other's comments if you like the comment, if you can relate to it. I hope that I can help a little ways in some small way to provide like a safe environment for you to get support. And I really appreciate you guys being respectful, and you guys are always so nice and so respectful, so I appreciate that. So hope you have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you guys again soon.